Well, Connor, we're live now. It's Friday night, Celtic chat, and we've loads to talk about tonight. I hope you're well.
I'm no bad, mate. How you doing? You alright? Aye.
Good, good. Obviously the weather is a bit of a hit and miss, but look, we've enough to talk about to burn the air off, which is good. So last time you were on, me, yourself, and Danny talked about a good bit of stuff. It was obviously around just after the transfer window closed. It's been a mad month since. Brendan obviously
Aye.
got the manager of the month. Matt O'Reilly got the player of the month as well for September. So I just want to talk to you about Matt O'Reilly so far this season. What do you make of it? Of him?
Aggie's played absolutely brilliant under Brendan this year, to be honest with you. Start till last season, he was like sort of out the team, wasn't he, more than often. But nah, I think this year he seems to be, well, he got his call up for Denmark as well. So that's good for him
Yeah,
as well. You know what I mean? That's sort of confidence boost for him. So it's all about the confidence in it in the team. And it's maybe a boost for Matt as well. So I know it's good to see he's got that Denmark call up and hopefully just kicks on for Celtic after the international break.
like you're looking at like he's that big winner against Motherwell as well away as well was a massive thing. That was the day he signed the new contract as well. Like it's good to see Celtic were getting the business end done with about keeping their players. So what we have Welch now signed in a new deal. Rio, Matt, Callum, Kyogo, Moyeda, Abade. Am I missing one? Am I missing anyone? I don't think I'm missing. I think that's
No,
what
I
happened.
think that's the last time we spoke. That was everybody we needed done. I think it was just Vickers. That is Vickers.
No, see, Vickers, he's on a contract at 25 anyway, so
Aye, sorted. Aye.
it's a case that we need to get him on a long term deal. I was only thinking about it today. I was like, if there's three more players you would offer new contracts to, who would it be?
Yeah, he'll go tough to be. Well, he's just signed the new one,
Well,
but he wanted him forever.
he's on a new. He signed a new deal anyway. He was
Aye.
one of the first ones to sign a new deal under Rodgers. So there's three more players that put the pen and paper down to.
Who's that still to go? Keith, who's still to sign the
Uh,
contract? Sorry.
so Taylor, we could have Scales, we could have Carter
Aye.
Vickers, we could have Joe Hart. Surprisingly enough,
Aye.
let's look at David Turnbull's potentially one as well.
No, I would definitely a G Taylor one definitely. I think Taylor's starting to come back into the team a bit better. Carter Vickers, he's just unbelievable, isn't he? I love him. So I'd definitely give Carter one. And Scales, I think Scales has been phenomenal. Different player completely under Brendan. And you heard him in his last interview saying about how that he was
surprise package.
Aye. So,
Definitely.
I definitely get for it, Keith.
I'm thinking the same. Well, I was actually thinking Joe Hart as a number 2 for next season and getting someone in to replace Joe Hart. Look at Joe Hart's at the age of 37. He's obviously known that his first team football is going to get slimmer and simmer. It could be a case that he might hang up his gloves.
Aye, he's getting to that age as well. And I seen we were linked that guy from Madrid as well. He's maybe been no happy. Is it the guy for Ukraine?
Yeah, he came out and said that he's looking for a move away from Real Madrid. His contract's up at the end of the season as well, so it'd be crazy for Celtic not to go in and snap him. There has been fans on the forums and stuff saying we can't afford him, blah blah blah. We can afford him. Honestly, I looked up his salary, 54 grand. Like we're probably paying Callum McGregor around 50 grand anyway, or 45 grand.
Aye. No, you could definitely afford them, man. It's just hopefully open up the piggy bank. I think that seems to be the problem, but it's just the way Celtic work, isn't it? So
yeah, but if you're looking at a keeper, like usually 24 years of age, this is a long-term investment. Like if we can get him in for 2 or 3 years, we could still sell him off. Maybe sell him off for double figures to a Premier League team.
No, definitely, Keith. It's just one of them as well. The way like you want Celtic to open that piggy bank because we spoke about it before. Like look at us in Europe, you know what I mean? Like we look like we're a good team in Europe, but we just can't get the results. Like that Lazio game there, we were just seconds away, just for even the draw. It's still a point. I know it's a point, but it's a point. You know what I mean? So we were close. It's just you want Celtic to go further in the Champions League because I mean our record, it's not the best, Keith. It's really not.
It's probably one of the worst out there at the moment. It's just regardless. Like you said, you need to, if you want to compete in the Champions League, you have to get some sort of players, experienced players in the squad that can actually take a chance. And like we big up the Champions League, and you want these players like Taylor, like McGregor, like others like Kyogo to go out and actually have a fist at it. You look at the Gordon Strachan days, like Paul Hartley, Stephen McManus, Darren O'Dea, players like that. They go and took a chance with it. Aidan McGeady.
Even look at the nights as well. The nights under Celtic Park, under the lights, Champions League. I'm looking forward to Wednesday. I am, but it's just you've not got that feeling you used to have when you go to Parkhead in a Champions League game. Where we might be able to do this tonight. You know what I mean? But you're still gut. You're like, we can do this. But the reality is,
in your heart, you're like, we could do this. But in your head, you're like, we're playing against some shit. Like Lazio were there for the taking. Let's be honest, they were there for the taking. It's just, you were saying before we came on air, Yang just did not look like he was up for it.
No, Yang wasn't very good. But hopefully, like I've seen bits of Yang where I'm like, he could be a good player. But I just want him to, you know what I mean? Maybe he just needs a bit more time. But again, you don't really get much time at clubs like Celtic. It's in the deep end, and that's you.
100%. Just 2 seconds here. Just 1 second now. I just wanted to check something there. So Michael's saying, does Hart not want to play for his childhood team? Some lower team side. Remember who they are? It was a Macclesfield. I think it was Macclesfield. Could be. I think it's Macclesfield where he's from. I think it's Macclesfield or Morecambe. It's either one of them it is. I think another year in Glasgow will do him well and then let him off.
He loves it up here as well, Keith. That's the thing with Joe Hart. Like, he loves it up here.
I can see.
Up until that, like that red card, I thought he was actually really good. He was pulling off a couple of saves, like he was saving us from time to time. So I think Joe Hart's just like an easy pick sometimes, just to pick on if things aren't going very well. But he does make mistakes as well, but every goalkeeper does. But it's one of them, like, you like him, and then sometimes it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
I wanted him to come in at the time before we signed Barkas, because obviously he was at Burnley, and it was a Burnley he was at, and then he ended up leaving Burnley, going to the Spurs. Because Spurs, that was Italy was when he was still playing for City, and then Claudio Bravo came in at the time. That's why he went on the move to Italy. Done a little video earlier on. I found a clip of him speaking Italian. I'll put it up. But no, Hart, I just think there's much better than Joey Barton's one. That one's shocking, him in Marseille. Scott Brown sorted out Joey Barton anyway.
You put him in his place, Keith.
Oh, what a game that was. That was their first game up.
5-1.
The new form. That first ever Glasgow derby in the league. Yeah. That was some Dembele.
That was when Griffiths got injured, sure, and Dembele came in, I
remember going into that game, and I was like, Dembele scored a penalty against Astana, and I was just like, I was a bit iffy about Dembele when he signed for us. I was like, oh yeah, he's at the playing well for Fulham. He's only a young, I think, was he 21 at the time, 20 at the time?
He was a bit that.
And I was like, I don't know if this guy's gonna be decent in the Scottish League. And God,
we just got Rodgers in then the first time, and every signing you made just thought was going to be absolutely brilliant under Rodgers.
To be honest with you, I know you're probably thinking I'm a bit crazy. I just had that kind of Nadar Shifty feel about it after seeing Shifty come in the season before, and he was a flop. And then we seen Kazan Richards come in as well. He was a flop as well. And Carton Cole, all in one season. It was a lot.
We just thanked him for the song.
Yeah. He scored against Stranraer away, like. No,
that was funny,
oh my God, Dembele was just a player and a half.
Unbelievable. It's a shame it's happening to him now. I know he's in Saudi, but is it not happening?
He's enjoying it over there, but like, it was a shame the last 2 years could not. I think he scored altogether 6 goals in the French league last year.
It's a dead boring league though, that French league, I find sometimes.
Yeah, it's always going to be PSG in it.
Aye. It's a really
But
short.
but his goals against Man City and stuff, he's like that kick,
The back guy, the overhead kick one.
class.
That
He's
was good,
just
wasn't it?
even against them alloy blocks and stuff, he was just class. Like even remember that lob when Bruni passed it to him and he just dinked it out of the
Aye.
keeper.
Ran up and dipped him in. What's the goalie doing, Tom?
Oh, class, absolutely class. That was brilliant commentary as well.
Aye.
But
The Ibrox was the 3-2 anyone.
we had some serious characters in that team. When you look back at Rodgers' first term, like you obviously had Lustig, Stivchenko was still he was good. He was a unit as well for Celtic.
Aye. Oh yeah.
Gordon was a good keeper for Celtic.
Aye. No, he was good. With Boyata, Tierney, Cal Mac Brown, Paddy Roberts,
Armstrong, Sinclair.
Aye. He's here.
Yeah.
And up top, Dembele and Hodgson. But I think Hodgson came later on, didn't he?
Yeah, later on. But I'm trying to think, who was our third choice striker that season?
Griffiths. He was injured.
No, Griffiths was number 2, right? So Dembele. Who did we have as well up front? That was it. That was it.
Aye, Dembele, Griffiths, and Edward. I think that was it.
No, Edward. Like the 4th season, Edward wasn't there. The Invincible season, he wasn't there. Second season, he was there. But like Chifty was out on loan, I think. I remember he sent Chris Commons out to Hibs. He did. I can't even think who. We don't even.
Striker.
I just think it was just Dembele and Griff.
That's what it felt like anyway.
Because we compacted midfield, we had the likes of Armstrong, Rogic as well. Like it's just like Bruni, Beaton, Jamesy was on fire.
Aye, James. Aye. So was Scott Brown, because a lot of people thought Scott Brown was supposed to retire, and then he just came, boom.
Yeah, he was.
Sort of pushed an extra couple of years at him.
Yeah, that's what he got an extra 4 years out of Scott Brown.
Aye.
Because he looked like he was done in that semi-final when we got beaten by them, and he just obviously worked on his nutrition, got trained harder, got stuck in, and that was it.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were at that David Gray testimonial match, and they were saying, like, I reckon Scott Brown could still walk into any team. Playing that on Sunday. That's what he says to me. But you never know.
No. Well, if he keeps himself fit, obviously he was at Fleetwood last season, the 2 seasons before that, doing the coaching side of it, the manager. So he's probably still interacting and training and still keeping himself fit. He's still active doing all that golf and stuff.
It would be. He was a player coach as well up at Aberdeen, wasn't he? So.
The whole Scott Brown scenario, I don't want to see him come back to Celtic anytime soon. I really don't. I think
No.
I think the fans need to calm down with the whole Scott Brown thing. Like I've had people saying in comments, I'd give Harry Kewell up for Scott Brown, and I'm like, why? Why would you trade Harry Kewell's at that obviously being part of the coaching staff that won us a treble? Like, yes, Scott Brown has won us as a captain, won us trebles, quad trebles, but it's a different game ball.
No, he's obviously past it, but I think the guy was just saying that to me, maybe hoping as it was Hibs, but he did say he could walk in any team, you know what I mean? But then again, he's playing up against people that's retired, nearly 40 years old.
I wonder if you play for Hibs Masters next year, or Celtics Masters, if that goes on again.
What's that?
The Masters, remember the Masters this year?
Aye.
That was decent. I enjoyed watching it.
I used to love watching it when I was younger. I never seen it this year, but I used to watch it every year. It was on Sky Sports. It was brilliant. You know what I mean? Need more stuff like that.
Definitely, like it was a decent team as well. What we had Doris in goal. We had Kelvin Wilson, Mark Wilson, Chris Commons, Simon Dunn, Commons, Gary Hooper, Joe Ledley. Serious team, like.
Aye. No, that's still a half decent team, probably.
Yeah, I remember meeting Joe and then Joe in the airport last year. It was actually this year. I think it was around March, and I was walking through the Dublin airport about to get in the flight to Glasgow. There he is, standing there, just at the like kind of like they don't them escalators you just stand on and you just keep going.
You just go fast slower.
The lazy ones you call them, you want to call them. And there's Joe Lenny swamping Guinness and around. It's just a circle of people, and I was like, oh, Willie. So I
You
walked
see
to
him
the circle of
cup as
people.
well. He looks like a good laugh, didn't he? He's dancing and all that.
So he had what did he have on? He had like a Spectre Gadget jacket on and a big massive beard on him. And I was like, Joe, and I was like, is this? It's like it can't be. And he's like, what?
No.
And he's like, what? I was like, is it Joe Lenny? Joe, and he chats up a picture, and he's just like, I was like, oh, I got stage fright. I'll be honest. I said it was for me missus. It was actually for me. He's just like,
that's the thing. You still like a big kid even when you do meet all these players still.
oh, 100%. Like, there's me and Joe there.
I know,
just like,
characters, Joe, isn't he? You can really be a good one for the changing room as well, eh?
Oh, 100%. Like, I couldn't believe because he was delayed an hour and a bit, and I was just like, a kid at Christmas. I was like, can't believe he's that tall. Like, he's really big and all. Like, I expected to be a bit smaller. Because I remember he played that game at left back for Celtic. Was a left back or centre back? I think it was centre back against Rangers. He played that night.
He scored.
He scored the header.
Aye.
I think it was him and Mulgrew centre back that night.
Mulgrew, man, he's some character too. He's funny.
Charlie, what a player was he was something else for Celtic. Remember his first proper season when he returned back from obviously to being at Dundee and Aberdeen and stuff like that. But he
maybe Aberdeen 9-0 that year as well. I think
we did. Dylan McGeoch came off and scored and all that night. I think
Hartley got half in that game as well for Aberdeen.
Yeah, but like you look back at Charlie McGrew's that 3 years. He played 4 years at Celtic. That first 3 years, he was just a beast. The free kicks. You go back to that 3-3 game. Remember, Kelly were beating us 3-0 at half time at Rugby Park.
Everybody thought Lennon was getting the bullet then.
Yeah, because it was a poor start to the league, and then obviously Stokesy scored two. Didn't know. No, it was Stokesy that scored the free kick. Then Mulgrew got the header. And then Stokesy scored again.
Was it Stokesy again?
I think it was Stokesy again. I think it was, yeah.
He stayed 5 minutes down the road for us, Stokesy.
He was a good player for Celtic. He fought with a short and he didn't really get.
Stokesy. Him and Hooper together were a good combo. Eh?
Oh, brilliant. It was just a random set of players that Lenny brought in, like Daryl Murphy, Gary Hooper. Gary Hooper was like from Scunthorpe.
Well, hey, listen, they still managed to do a decent run the Champions League. That nobody was Barcelona that time. Yeah, it broke my heart when he left. It really did. I had that attachment to Hooper. Like, it was just like, don't want. I know. It was brilliant, wasn't he? He was really good, Hooper. I liked him. It's one of my favourite strikers. We used to, when we were younger, we used to play football and that. We used to joke about being Mo Bangura. Remember him?
Oh, God. The wrong one we signed. We signed the wrong one. He was tipped by Henrik Larsson be the next thing.
Mo Bangura. I mean, my mate used to run.
We played against him in a qualifier. He was playing for Elfsborg at the time and he was still on loan at Celtic. And he actually played against us and all.
I can't mind last week now. My head's up my backside, honestly.
Right. We're going to talk about Tynecastle anyways. Back to business on Sunday. It feels like doesn't it feel like it's been a month since we played against like Kilmarnock at home?
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. But I'm looking forward to it because see being like a Scotland fan growing up, right? International football wasn't very exciting. It'll be different with Ireland. Like Ireland were pretty decent. But see when it comes up to Scotland, but obviously now it's good. But see for years it was like, here we go, man. Scotland playing. You know what I mean? It was a bit soul destroying at times, but it's definitely picked up now. I mean, we've qualified when 2 games left, but no, back to business, back to Celtic, and that's what happened.
Steve Clark, as some manager, I have to say, he's worked wonders with that Scottish team. A guy said to me in work today, he's like, Callum McGregor's not the player that he is at Celtic than he is at Scotland. I was like, I know. He's definitely. He takes a step back at the Scottish team. I was even saying, I was like, McTominay's like a different level. He's like three steps ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think McGregor, obviously, he just needs to pick a bit of form up. Here's a question for you: Do you think James Forrest will be good enough for the Scotland squad next summer?
I don't think so. No.
Done.
Nah, I don't think so. No, I think Forrest maybe done with Scotland. I don't know. It's just I feel sorry for Forrest. You know what I mean? Because he's Celtic through and through, isn't he? But nah, I just think that he's got to struggle even to get back into Celtic from time to time.
He's lacking that goal, and he's always so close to scoring. He just need.
If that's been the problem for him, he just not had game. Like his eye, like he came on at Livingston. Was it Livingston and he got taken off when Joe Hart got sent off?
Yeah, but he don't. Even he came. It was against Kilmarnock. Was it Kilmarnock or something? It was a Kilmarnock.
I think it was.
And he had a chance to score, and he just like went straight at the keeper. I think with Jamesy, as you said, Celtic true and true. It's crazy to think he's been in the senior team 13 years now.
Mental, innit? That's what I think as well with the testimonial being at the start of the year. It's like, I don't know if it's maybe one of them, like maybe he might be leaving us at the end of the season.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I hope no. But then
I'm going to be...
You want all your players to stay. But
oh no. He's a humble lad. He's obviously, he doesn't have social media and that stuff like that, and he's done well. He hasn't let the club down in any fashion, like being out in the drink or saying anything bad about the club, which is fantastic to see. And he obviously got caught, like when Ange gave him the new deal, I was kind of like he hasn't been playing much. The guy's injury prone, and then you think I think the deal was more to honour his service to the club.
No, definitely. That's another point to it as well. But I just hope that even you can just put him in the backroom staff somewhere or something eventually when it's his time up. You know what I mean? You just want him to be there forever.
He can. You know what you can do? You can do all the fashion catalogs or something like that. Leave him to it. He's been doing it for years. Leave Jamesy to it.
He's a
but
nice guy as well. You know what I mean? Met him a few times. He's a nice guy. So
he was our first goal scorer under Brendan Rodgers in the league. In his first term at Tynecastle, that outside the foot shot.
Aye.
That was a good day. Obviously, Scotty came on for his debut and scored.
Good that, aye. Well, hopefully that this weekend there's not got to be as much VAR controversy as it was last year. It's been a year anniversary of VAR this weekend as well.
It's mad to think, innit? It's mad to think that actually James Forrest lobbed it up to the player on the player's hand, and it was
hand. That was see before you say yourself about the VAR though, right? Like, what are they seeing different to what we're seeing? What is it? Like, they're seeing the exact same angle we're seeing it at. Same picture, and they still get it wrong every week, every single week. There's always a problem with VAR every week. And it's not just Scotland. Look at down south as well. It's happening all the time.
The whole Liverpool and Spurs thing. I've been saying, and I'll be honest, I think it should be like the Rugby World Cup or rugby in general. You should be able to hear the referees talking to each other, the VAR officials.
Aye. Or even for example, at Parkhead as well, they should put up on the big screen showing you as well the video instead of just VAR.
No, because it puts pressure on the referee even more if they do that. That's the reason why, because they're analysing it. That's the whole point of them being in office, behind the scenes and stuff.
That's enough pressure for me.
It has, to be honest, it has killed the game. It really has killed the game.
Champions League game there with Lazio.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There you are. I think you're 2-1 up. Nah, VAR. Because if VAR wasn't there, that would have been a goal.
True.
You know
and it would have been. And you go back to other previous matches and you be like, Jesus, if that was VAR, like you go back to games 3 or 4 years ago and you're like, oh, that definitely would have been given. Definitely not would have been given.
I was looking forward to VAR coming in. I'm like, finally you can just it's in front of you. You know what I mean? Surely you can't get that wrong. Still get it wrong.
They're just very complacent, the officials, and I know they can't get everything right. And they're humans, they're not robots, but I just feel like you look at other clubs in the league and they're getting so many penalties or it's just stupid goals and stupid bookings and stupid sending offs as well, and it's just like they need to learn from these mistakes, especially but Tynecastle is always a difficult place to go. It's not going to help when you have 589 or 596 fans only allowed in from our side as well.
Nah, no, I keep seeing that as well about like everywhere cutting allocations as well. Like look at Livingston, you get free stands at Livingston. I know it's because they don't sell it out, but like these wee clubs, they might soon realise that they need Celtic and Rangers basically for their tickets. Maybe Hearts and Hibs, maybe they're all right with it, but like the smaller clubs, they'll probably need it. You know what I mean?
But let's think about it. Tynecastle. The only time Tynecastle gets full is when they're playing Hibs.
Aye.
And even when they played us last season in the cup, even though we had the full stand because of the allocation and stuff, but they just never, they can't fill it. Like when Naismith came out, Naismith comes out with these bitter jokes saying that it's not. We're looking at commercial side of it. They're going down the same road. They're going down the same road as the Glasgow brothers. That's what they're trying to do.
Aye, and that's the thing as well. But it's all right. Cut our allocation all we want. We'll still beat in your back garden.
And that's what Roger said. Like it's more satisfying when we get a result there when we have no fans. It just shows that the pressure is on us, but we can deliver. We've seen it at Ibrox. Like a lot.
That was brilliant.
That.
No, beat that. Cutting your allocation because you battered them basically every year. Cutting allocation, or maybe it'll make a difference. So alright, we'll still beat you with no fans here.
They're gonna it's gonna get to the stage where like they want to keep that season ticket holders happy, and it's the same with us. We want to keep our season ticket holders happy in our section as well. But the Celtic haven't confirmed yet. There's obviously been reports that we're gonna snub. We're not gonna offer them tickets for it. Mm-hmm. We're not gonna offer the 800 tickets. Why should we?
No, I wouldn't give them nothing.
I think
because end of the day, they're the ones that cut it first, Keith, right? So they're the ones that basically spat the dummy first. Right? And I know it sounds bitter and all of that, like, you should sort it out between each other. Celtic tried to sort it out and they wouldn't have it. So, 800 or we want more than 800 or nothing. They said nothing. So, well, same vice versa.
Exactly, and Hearts are going on that road. Hearts are going on that road soon. They probably, if we play them again after the split, they'll probably do the same thing as well.
They definitely will. Like you said, they're just copying their brothers, So
it's just because we've won leagues there. Or like, we obviously won the league there last year. Was it last year or the year before? We won the league there the year. Was it last? Yeah, it was last year. Last year.
Under Rodgers as well.
Yeah, we won under Rodgers there, and then I remember we got beaten under Rodgers there as well. They beat us an unbeaten run. But it's always a difficult place to go and play football. But you go back to my favorite win there of all the games. Like, considering we've won leagues and there's been that epic. Was it the 4-3 game? We beat them there as well with this jersey on. Yarosik scored, I think, or 2-1 was it? The game that sticks out to me the most is the Edward goal, the one in the stoppage time when Brendan Rodgers left and went to Leicester, and they actually had a sign saying Brendan Rodgers here for 9 in a row. The Hearts fans did, and then obviously we put the banner about obviously Brendan leaving.
Aye,
and then that's that ball over the top from Scott Brown. And
I mind that because I do remember that game. Edward's celebration that night, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my favourite. I think that's my favourite Tynecastle win in recent times.
I don't know what the one last year with the VAR. That was a good one as well because you just felt like
the Taylor one.
Game, that was a tense game as well. You know what I mean?
Sure, was it? Lauren Shanklin got a hat trick against us that day.
Yeah, it was a penalty or something, wasn't it? One of them.
Yeah, 2 penalties I think it was at that.
I mean, never even got that one. It was a stonewall with Jamesy.
So Jim is saying we've won 9 out of the 11 games against them. It doesn't even go down to that statistics. And you look and say, well, we've won this so many games. It's who turns up on the day. They'll be hungry to beat us because they know we're off an international break and they'll want to try and get one over us.
Tynecastle's a hard place to go as well, though. Like, you've got the fans dead close to you as well there. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what any football player you ever hear that's ever played at Tynecastle, that's what you always hear. It's always a tense place to go to because the fans are so close to you.
Yeah, and you seen how close one of the fans were trying to grab Sinclair when he scored his debut goal. And they look back.
Like that one. Try to punch him, basically.
And then you look back to with Lennon as well, the fan jumping off of the barrier.
No, that's it, and that's how easy it is as well. But yeah, I mean, played Lazio there as well. When they ran on the park, the base sexy fans are on the park as well. It's just it's all down to Sheridan and that, but it's hard as well because you've got thousands of people there too. You know what I mean? So
but it's an enjoyable day out for the fans. I've never done Tynecastle, but
need a fan.
It'd be gold us now to try to get a ticket for it.
It's mental. I've been to Ibrox twice, right? But I've never been to Tynecastle or Easter Road up at Tawdry. It's mental, isn't it?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And it was on my name, the ticket as well. That's the worst part about it.
Who would you be a starting lineup? Now, obviously, Maeda is available.
Yeah, so I'd be playing just Hart, Johnson, Vickers, Scales, Taylor, Hatate, O'Reilly, Calmack. It's a tough one. Obviously, Kyogo. But then it probably would be my head on you. I'd go for Palmer.
I would go, to be honest with you. You probably think I'm a bit crazy. I've been thinking about this the last few days, right? Hart, Johnston, Vickers, Naroski.
No,
I know Naroski hasn't played. Some people could say Phillips. I would actually play Scales left back. I know Taylor's obviously had to come back from Scotland and he's on a high with the qualification and stuff. I know he played against France the other night. I play Taylor left back. Why not? Like, if this guy wants to keep the shorts, he's going to be going against the likes of Naroski, Phillips. Welch is like 3 weeks away from being back to the team. 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 weeks probably, because Roger said today he's going to be 2 weeks away from training to full time, and then obviously see how that goes. I'll go with right wing James Forrest, because Forrest loves a goal at Tynecastle. I think he needs a goal. I go with Maeda because Maeda's obviously good to go, and then Kyogo. But you think of Louis Palmer, you're gonna drop Palmer that's coming off a couple of goals as well.
Nah, he's in good form, isn't he, Palmer? He looks a decent wee player now as well.
But the hostile environment might hit him. You got to think of that as well.
What's that? Sorry.
The hostile environment might hit him at Tynecastle.
Aye, I know, but I just.
But this is why the boss.
I think Forrest is too hanging to chuck into that game. I feel like we've, like for the Kilmarnock game, we're picking up our stride now. You know what I mean? So why change it? You get me?
I just feel James. Yeah, I just feel James is a goal in him. But you could be wrong. Could be Palmer. It could be Louis Palmer, and I think Louis Palmer has been outstanding. I just feel like Brendan's sticking to his guns. He's gonna go with Maeda. He loves Maeda.
Nah, he does. He does. I like Maeda. I like him, but I don't think he's a football player. But his work rate's good, like everybody says. But he can be a bit annoying to watch for me. That's just my opinion on it, and I get shut down for it every time because I get told, well, his work rate's excellent. I know his work rate's good.
He's probably the hardest working player at Celtic. Him or Callum.
He is. 100% is right. But like when it comes to playing fit, like it's mental because when you look at Livingston, right, he scored that absolute screamer of a goal, right? We go back maybe 2 feet before it, he's nearly hit me at 1-1-3 with the ball, or maybe the off stand upper.
Kilmarnock, yeah, I remember that.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but like technically on the ball, I don't rate him, but it's weird because like there's some games you can watch him as well, and he is good on the ball, but like 90% of the time for me. But he's a good player, definitely. He just
needs to have his head screwed on, like, and every footballer has the moments. Look at Ryan Christie, for God's sake, he had rosette moments as well. But you can't take, like, there's been games this season where I turn around and say he's been absolutely outstanding. It's just the small things that matter so much, like when the game finishes, like preventing that crucial cross.
Out of the way, because it's like he just gets shut down for it, but. What I say to people is like when they say about his work rate and that, like we'd be well sitting in the same boat because he can run. His work rate will be good. You know what I mean? But I know it's a completely different thing altogether. But that's just my like. So I'm not saying I don't dislike him, but he's not technically good. I don't think. He's not a clinical finisher. You could basically say. Aye.
But that's why I think I thought he done well in Japan. Obviously, Yokohama. He used to actually play in the centre for Yokohama, and then he got the Golden Boot. It's his birthday today. He's big 26.
Aye. I seen that. Seen it was his birthday.
Big 26. Like 82 games for Celtic, 20 goals, and I think I could be wrong. I think 14 assists. I could be wrong with the assists, but I think he's done pretty decent so far since he came into the club.
No,
the only thing that frustrates me, Connor, is the Champions League last season. That broke me.
Aye, it was it was so weird with the Champions League last year because it was again like you could have been 3-0 against Real Madrid at Parkhead in the first half, but you go away losing 3-0. Like, you know what I mean? It was just every game in the Champions League seems to be like that now for us.
Do you remember Red Bull? He had like 2 or 3 chances to put in the back of net against Red Bull. You were saying Real Madrid. He had a stone cold chance against Real Madrid. It was the second half the ball got crossed in, and he just flopped it.
Does it all the time, man. Flops it. Sends it up to Rosette. But no, there is games where he's good, you know what I mean? And like last season, I thought it was really good last year at certain points.
Look, he's got a lot of Ibrox.
Start of the season, I felt like he wasn't very good, and then he sort of came on it. I think maybe when we first signed him, and then he sort of came on to a run of games in good form. And
sure, he scored in his debut. We did against Hibs.
Aye.
Was it 4 minutes in?
With a header, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was a ball crossed in and kind of swung at it. 4 minutes in.
It was right in front of me as well.
And it was in front of you. He scored the Lisbon line stamp, and then people were boasting about Atate, his walk rate, his pass rate and stuff. But like Atate's becoming it.
There was one ball right in that Madrid game, right? And I swear to God, it's one of the best balls I've ever seen in my life, and it was Atate, right? And I swear it was doing the Lisbon, the Joke Steen stand, right? Basically, corner flag, right? And I swear to God, he just signed it further up my end. And honestly, I'll never forget that pass. It was one of the best passes I've ever seen. It's unbelievable.
I know the one you're talking about. Class.
You know
I know the one you're talking about.
It was just unreal.
Took it on his left and smashed on his right up. Dinged it over to the other side of the pitch. I remember watching that game, and do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a Xabi Alonso pass. That's what it reminded me of.
It was one of the best passes I've ever. But like I say that as well. Like, see me talk about Champions League and that now. Obviously, there's been some serious good teams that have came, right? But like one of the best ones I ever mind seeing is that PSG team that beat us 7-0. Was it 7-0?
Yeah.
That was
7-1. 7-1 at 7-1 over in Paris.
It was just like at Parkhead, it was just zang, 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 go. Like there was one with Cavani, like literally teetered it, and it just went Air Gordon. It was just.
But you feel like with some of these players that we have in the squad, they give the opposition too much respect on the ball, respect on the ball, and it's like you need someone that wants to get stuck in, but at the same time they're afraid they're gonna ruin the game, get fouled, or get booked, and then there's the game gone tactically. But like, I just feel like football these days, especially when you're playing in Europe, they give them too much time on the ball. It's kind of like in the league for Celtic. The opposition gave a lot of possession for Celtic to try to break us down then with counter-attack.
It's the perfect one where you get like the smaller clubs in Scotland, like when they talk about us, like, oh, your budget's way too high for us. It's like us when you see we go into Champions League, we're like, oh, their budget's too high for us.
The budget's too high. We'll start giving Celtic fans more away allocation and start filling your stadiums.
Exactly. Just give them the free stands. Your budget will be back to normal.
Right. Michael's saying Palma is used to Greek football, hostile crowds. I suppose Panathinaikos, PAC, Olympiacos, some decent teams in Greek football. But more like me head is thinking Palma, but me heart is saying Forest. I know Palma's
been on like a decent bit on a form, and like when the players are playing like that, you want them playing like that. You know what I mean? Like you want them in the,
like I think
Forest. I know what you're saying with Forest, definitely, but for me, it's got to be.
I think that's a bit too early to be judged. I think there's one or two that have the jury out on Yang. I think Yang just needs a goal or two. Give him a bit of time. Give him time to settle. He
No,
was,
no,
he was terrible against Lazio. Terrible.
aye, it was really bad. But there's been certain points as well you've seen them be like, looks all right, but we've talked about that before earlier, like before we came on the podcast about Yang, and like that Lazio game was.
Well, he came out and said it though, Connor. He came out and said he's like the event got too much to him, and I can understand that. Some player, you think about it, right? These guys are watching the Champions League from a young age, or even just playing for other clubs. Maybe if it's in the K League or playing for a lower club, whatever you want to call it in that context. But like they're hearing that Champions League music. Even when I watch, say if I watch a Champions League game, it's not even Celtic, and I hear that music, I'm getting buzzed up even watching it. Like imagine them being in front of 60,000 fans and hearing that music pumping, and then hearing a big massive noises on top of it as well.
It's brilliant. It's good because we're taking the wee man at his first one on Wednesday, the Atletico game, and we've said to him like, wait till you hear that music, the place just erupts. You know what I mean? And it is. You can't even hear it. That loud. It's just that. As soon as that music plays, that's it.
That's what sold it. That's what sold it to me. That's what sold it to me. A Champions League, a Celtic Champions League night sold me Celtic Football Club. Sold it to me. And I know people like, you're mad, but it did. It just, my uncle bigged it up for me, and I laughed at him. I was like, will you calm down? And when he bring me to that Lisbon Lions stand and That You Never Walk Alone came on, then the Champions League music, and then at the time we were playing Milan. It was a 0-0 game against Milan, the last 16, and it was just the view. I was just like, wow, oh my god! And then it just hit me. It's like, as I said, we don't want to have it as a spectacle. We want to be getting results. We want to be getting the whole package.
I know, that's it. You want it, and like I made the Barcelona game, like when we beat them 2-1 in that. Like I was at that with my dad.
That jersey.
Aye, and we were in the Lisbon line up on that game, right? And I swear to God, like you've seen the video on Twitter and that now, but like you see the bit of the Lisbon line stand at the end. You actually see it shaking. Like I mean, we were standing up there, and you felt it. You know what I mean? That was it. The 2-1 game, the Coach game.
Going into that game, I was confident going into that game because we were fearless. Celtic Park was a cauldron. Like I remember someone saying to me in work that day, and they were like, "How do you feel about playing against Barcelona?" I was like, "I'm not over exaggerating, but European night at Celtic Park, we could beat anyone." And I was like, "I think we're going to beat them tonight." And people were laughing at me. I was like, "I think we'll beat them tonight." And I actually did say Wanyama to score. I was like, Wanyama will score, but I never in a million years thought Tony Watt.
No, you would never think that though, innit? But then you look at his career now, it's like he's up at Dundee United.
He's had more clubs than Robbie Keane at this rate.
Aye.
Like I think he went to, what was it? He went to, who did he go to? He went to Stade Liège, was it?
Motherwell St Mirren.
No, he went to Belgium. We sold him to Belgium, and then he went to Charlton, then Blackburn, and then he ended up going to Motherwell, I think.
And then
Hearts.
Was it Hearts as well?
Hearts, yeah. St Mirren.
Then Dundee United.
The Dundee United. Oh my God, that's so about the clubs. Sure, didn't he play for Airdrie, and then we signed him from Airdrie?
I think it was that because I'm not too sure on that though. I don't want to say that because I'm not.
I think he signed him from Airdrie. I'm not going to check on the phone. I don't want to be cheating now, folks. It was Airdrie that we signed Tony Watt from a young age. Sure, he scored. His first goal for Celtic was against Motherwell at Fair Park. Gary Hooper was the captain. Gary Hooper got the captaincy towards the end.
Like Gary Hooper,
and I know. I remember. Do you remember who came? Do you remember the other striker that came off the bench to play with Tony Watt up front?
I know it.
This guy never scored a goal for Celtic. He played like 4 or 5 games. He was a Polish guy.
I know who you're talking about.
Go on. See, it's not Saraski before you think. Saraski was well gone by then.
Oh my God, that's annoying. I do remember him. I was at the game. I remember it, but I just can't remember his name. Was he no bald teeth?
I'll give you a hint. He had black hair and he couldn't have the real life. Always looked angry.
Oh, Keith, I'm not going to mind his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Marshek Broshek, I think it was. Broshek. His name is Broshek.
Broshek, man. Wow.
Broshek, yeah.
I remember I can picture him in my face now. His face, but I just can't mind his name.
Yeah, Broshek, yeah. Remember him?
Was there somebody else in that team as well that played that was just like a Celtic reject, but it was a Celtic reject. I can't mind his name.
Don't you dare say Soy Fairley.
No.
It wasn't Soy. It wasn't Slaney.
No. I remember the team picture, and he was in the squad too. I can't mind who it was.
Was it Cha? El Kadori?
No, I think it was, by the way.
Oh no, I know who you're talking about now. I know who you're thinking of the two brothers, the two Czech lads. Oh, what were their names? Oh Jesus, the two brothers. It starts. Their surname was T. I know who you're talking about. That wasn't.
I might have been in the team picture. That's how I can remember it. But remember, I think I was still at high school at that game. So.
Yeah, Motherwell. Good times. Good times. We hammered them that day. But Tony Watt came off the bench and scored. I think he actually got 2 that day. Could be wrong. And then he got a string of games the following season. Scored a few goals against Dundee and all that.
I know it was one of them as well with Tony Watt. Like he looked like he had a player in him. You know what I mean? And it probably still isn't it. I think it's just for what I've read in that about him, I think it was his attitude.
I just think the Barcelona game just probably hit him. Probably did.
Might have done.
Probably. You know, like I was a bit good when we sold him. I actually was. I was like, oh, I think there's a player there.
No, therefore, I think the saddest one I've ever been is Big Tam Rogic, like recent times.
Well, he retired for a reason. Obviously, he retired because his family reasons. He retired. They're expecting twins, him and his missus. But Tommy's a legend. A legend. Really, like. No, if any Celtic fan does not call him a legend, wake up. Him alone scoring that goal in the Scottish Cup final is legendary.
Don't know if you can hear my XL bully, man. It's my Cocker Spaniel.
Hoopy's barking in the background. But now you go back to Rogic. Like Rogic could just torn a game. And you know, I was looking back at his goals there a couple of weeks ago after he announced his retirement. Remember that goal against Dundee United where he got goal of the season? Aye. A couple of years back under Ange. Under Ange.
Aye.
You can't. It was like this time 2 years ago. He picks up the ball halfway line, takes the ball 3 boys, and slots it in the far corner.
I know. I remember.
It was in Tannadice.
2 times he's done that. Okay.
Do you know who scored that day as well?
What?
Big Liam Scales.
Liam Scales did.
Liam Scales scored that day. Yeah.
Liam Scales is good, man. I rate him highly.
I hope he gets a new contract. I really do believe he does. He has 2 years left in his deal, but give him a pro contract. Look, if he can keep off Larga Bielka and Naroski, like it's mad to think 2 months ago we were panicking about centre backs. Now we have loads of them, just throwing them everywhere.
There's one position we need to fill, and that's a striker.
A striker and a left back. Well, we could play Scales left back with Taylor. And we have Bear the Bay as well. Striker, I don't know. Like I like but as me and you said this before, Giakoumakis has never been replaced.
Wow! Look at that goal he scored against Ireland, man.
Boom, leaping header, and it wasn't against a bad keeper. Banzula was a good keeper.
The thing is, too, like I got shut down for it last year, or whenever it was Giakoumakis was here, because I was going through a spell where I was wanting it to be Abada, Jota and Giakoumakis, just because of the pace that the two of them had and the strength of Giakoumakis. But then I got shut because of Kyogo. But I just felt that the case with that was, if you remember, like Kyogo got injured and then Giakoumakis came in.
Sure, he came in the second game in, he scored a hat-trick.
Aye, exactly, and he just picked up for there. But I mean that I met him one time, right? Giakoumakis, and I said to him, big man, please don't leave. He's like, I don't want to, but they're probably just saying that to you.
So, what happened there was he had 3 rounds. Him and Abad at the time had 3 rounds of contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously when Abada was only in the door. No, sorry, apologies. It was after the fourth season.
Aye.
It's going 18 months into Abada's contract, and Abada was offered a deal, and Abada snubbed it. Like this was been going on for a year and a bit, and obviously he signed a new deal there at transfer deadline day. But Giakoumakis was offered 3 times to sign a new deal, and he's just like, no, I want to be playing first team. And the
Aye.
reportedly, Giakoumakis is only on 20 grand a week. That's the reason why he wanted to go.
Just give it
Well,
away, 'cause
19 grand a week he was on.
No, I'd have done what I could to keep him at the club, like, because he was a player. But then again, you need to look at his record as well.
Kyogo was on 28. So that's why I think there was a bit of that friction there where Kyogo's starting first team football. He's banging goals in. Giakoumakis is coming off the bench. He's not getting much. He's getting a half an hour there and then.
No. It's one of them as well, though. You've just, like I said earlier, I don't like losing players, you know what I mean? Like players like Giakoumakis and Tom Rogic and stuff, you know what I mean? But I suppose you've just got to let them go, for they're not going to be happy.
It's a business, though. People come and go. We have to understand that, and that's you look at it. You look at the attachment to Jota. When Jota left, people were just like posting him all over the place and this and that. And I was like, I wish you the very best. And it is great times we had on the show, but it's just a Celtic model. People come, they use the club for 2 or 3 years to develop their career. We make money on them. We get titles. Everyone wins. Everyone wins on it.
And then we don't spend it.
We don't spend it.
No,
but
we don't.
The argument I would say is we have spent it this season, and I know it doesn't feel like we brought him. We've spent it internally, and what we done was we got the 7 or 8 players on the long-term contracts.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. You can't, like, the business we done is good business because we signed up the key players, you know what I mean, on new contract.
Think of the buzz going into the Motherwell game and Matt O'Reilly getting the new deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the biggest one that they done was Satati.
To me,
and what I mean by that is because he wasn't in the game, I don't think, you know what I mean? I think he was wanting a move and somehow he managed to get him in a contract.
I think Tate number 2. I think Kyogo number 1.
Mm-hmm. Aye, no, that's 100%.
I think Kyogo is because obviously he wasn't playing much in the pre-season, and yet he scored that goal at Wolves and stuff in the Aviva. I just feel Kyogo, there's a player there. There's a guy that had 34 goals last season, and yeah, he was on 28 grand a week. He's probably been bumpered up to 40 grand or whatever. I don't know the figures. I'm just speculating the figures. Mm-hmm. Getting him till 2027 is a big one. Maeda is a big one to me. I was actually delighted when Maeda got the new deal. I know you were probably rolling your eyes, but
no, I wasn't. No, I just, like I said, I just feel like sometimes he's just not technically good in the ball, which gets me a bit annoyed. But
that's the thing that I'm worried about, Michael, as well. I'm going to do a video on this in the next couple of weeks. The Asian Cup is coming up in January, so we potentially could be losing Yang, Rio, Kyogo, and Dazen. Now, as far as I know, there's a loophole around this. I don't know if it's true, but there's a corny loophole that you can call off games when you don't have so many first team regulars.
Just do that then, huh?
You don't see the problem is if you have a congested fixture list, it's putting massive pressure on, and I mean it gives the teams below us a bit of an advantage to build up the points that. But look, it done us well back in 2008 when the Oko were on a run in Europe, and they were going for all cups, and we were out of all cups, and we just had the league, and we had a couple of games in hand. I remember we had 2 or 3 games in hand as well, and we ended up winning the games. I think one of the games was like Gretna away. It was like a shit pitch, Fair Park, and then we had to go back there again and play Motherwell, and we ended up beating Motherwell last minute. Got McDonald's.
That's mental saying Gretna.
Gretna, yeah. Now they're jelly and ice cream done.
Some other clubs should have been like that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's loads of clubs that dodge the tax man, but no, they need to strengthen in January. If we bring we're going to talk about keepers. Like, I know people that probably regularly watch me are probably sick of me talking about the Real Madrid keeper, and Queevy and Keller, but they're realistic targets for us if Celtic want to be ambitious.
No, it is, aye. And you want to just break, like I say, you want to break the piggy bank. Go for it. You know what I mean? We need to. We've not actually, like, for a club of our size, our transfer record fees 9 million with Edward. That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, isn't it? Like, in this day and age, I know we don't get a lot of money, but we do get a lot of money at the same time.
We have
targets to reach the Champions League every year, right? That's a big money maker for us.
And they're saying it could be up to 60 million next year at the end of the Champions League. So what's the point of being stingy? Like the club could come around and say, "Well, hold on a second here. You criticise us for not spending money, but we have came out in public admitted that we're updating our facilities. We're updating Barrafield. We're updating Lennoxtown. We're at the recontracting 7 of our players. So money has been spent in that aspect."
Aye.
But I feel like
you want to be seen it getting put into the team though.
Right. So I think in the 30 million that Brendan Rodgers was promised is the Barrafield and the Lennoxtown money, right?
Aye.
I think the Jota money that we received is the players that we recontracted on better deals.
Aye.
Now, some people might say, "Oh, that doesn't add up to 20-25 million." It probably does long term when you add it all up. If they all go through their contracts, well, the chances of a modern day football style staying for 4 or 5 years is quite slim. The only one out of all them is going to be Callum, probably staying.
Aye, I know. I think he'll finish his career at Celtic.
When you give a player a long-term deal, it doesn't mean they're going to stay long-term. It just means that they're getting more wages. It takes the speculation off them, and it means that they can put their head into the game. And as you said, Rio was a prime example.
No, I think that was thing as well, though. Like, the Saudi money came in for Jota, and maybe he's seen that and like, well, I want
that. So Michael's saying, quit and buying 3 project boys and get 1 ready. I feel like it should be like that. I feel like it should be like, get our 2 or 3 million players and start going out and actually buying. Like, here's the best term: quality over quantity.
Aye.
And if we don't,
I don't know, because I don't know. We do need to spend some money, like, definitely. And I know that obviously the players we've got the new is good enough for the league, but every Celtic fan you speak to will always want to go further in Europe.
Yeah, but we're not a Champions League team. At this moment in time, we're not a Champions League team, and I'm not trying to buzz kill the mood. I'm going to the game on Wednesday, but after that Lazio game, I was, even before that, even the group, I was like, don't even bother thinking we're going to get points at Madrid. Let's go Madrid, home or away. We're not. Like, I'm going to that. I'm going hoping that we do.
As I'm saying, it's probably one of the easiest groups you've had in years as well.
Like, I felt that last season with Red Bull and Shakhtar. I was like, we could do Shakhtar home and away. This could be done. Like, and come on, 2 points.
Aye, nah, I feel like this is like, obviously Atletico Madrid. You're probably not going to be them, but realistically you should be able to beat teams like Feyenoord and Lazio and Shakhtar. You know what I mean? But it's just the way it's been. So
I think people don't look into the perspective. Like, you think, right, when the draw was done, first thing I thought was, right, Feyenoord, Dutch champions, got to Europa League quarterfinals last season. That's going to be a difficult game. We should beat them at Celtic Park. We haven't played them at Celtic Park. On the night in Rotterdam, we went down to 9 men. Before that, we played pretty well. The only problem that was that before we went down to 10 men, then 9 men, the position of the free kick, Kyogo should never have been in that wall.
No.
I
was pretty bad that, and then like you say, I thought we were in the game until the red cards came.
Oh, we were in the game even when we came out in the second half, the first 10 minutes we were in the game, and then that red card, it just killed us off. And I was like, I was thinking, see when the second red card came out, I was like, this is gonna be 4 or 5 nil now. When you see this, it's gonna be.
What was he doing, man? Getting home. What was he doing? I think he'll be a good player as well, though. I think he will.
Well, that's the problem. Celtic are going to have that decision now. Well, Rodgers going to have that decision. Well, Holm is obviously a project player. Someone's going past in the ambulance. Hopefully they're all right.
That dog's still got it all.
Hopefully they're all right. But David Turnbull, his contract's up for renewal as well. We need to. The problem with the ball is he's not playing regularly, and when he does, I just feel like, come on, you're gonna pick David Turnbull over Matt O'Reilly and Rio Atate.
No chance.
Not a chance.
I said it to you last podcast as well about David Turnbull. I feel like the problem is he runs too far. It's constantly turning on the ball. You know what I mean?
So we are a Champions League club, Champions League stadium and support, but not a Champions League board. Champions League board. What do you mean a Champions League board is we're not? Well, they're smart to take money in as a board, but they're not smart of investing it in on the pitch, which is the most important way of Celtic making revenue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's a results business. You win the league, you get Champions League. You win cups, you get revenue, TV revenue, ticket revenue, the whole malarkey, football association revenue, whatever. I can understand. I agree with you. I just feel we're not a Champions League competitive team on the pitch. As you said, we have the stadium, we have the fans, we have the disco lights, we have the history there. It's just at this moment of time, I don't want us feeling like we're a team just going in for the sake of going in, just to fill the numbers.
A space and just get money. Aye, like I want to go in there and actually compete in it.
Yeah, compete in it.
And you also look at the teams in the Conference League as well. Like some pretty decent teams in that.
The Conference League, even the Conference League, the Europa League, and I was only saying this the other day to one of the lads. One of my mates is a West Ham fan, and I said, "There's no excuse for you not to win that Europa League." And he goes, "What do you mean?" I goes, "The Europa League is a little step up above the Conference League. The teams that are in the Conference League are nearly the same. Some of them are at the same caliber as a Europa League team. You should be going out there and actually competing for that Europa League." Mm-hmm. For a budget like West Ham.
Frankfurt won it. Conference League, into Frankfurt.
Yeah, Eintracht, yeah.
Done that as well, you know what I mean? It's just, it's one of them, like, you can see why they opened that up as well for like other teams to get into. But it's just, you feel like the Champions League to me should be the champions of the league.
Is a 500 grand for a draw, I think, in the Champions League. Could be wrong. 2.5 million for a win. Like, I just feel like it breaks me heart. Like when I'm growing up, I'm thinking Celtic away in Europe is always going to be. It's not. We have always had a horrendous record away, and we always relied on our home wins. And I just feel, look, the ball hasn't been kicked against Atletico Madrid. We're in for a difficult game on Wednesday night.
No,
really. But we need to get. We need to.
Difficult game Sunday, Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what I was to say. We need to focus on the bread and butter first. The bread and butter. So our next three games. Hearts, Atletico, St. Mirren. And St. Mirren are always a difficult team as well.
Mm-hmm.
The way they've been playing recent.
Is it no Hibs? Is it St. Mirren?
St. Mirren, then Hibs.
Oh, is it St. Mirren, then Hibs? Right.
Yeah.
Even Easter Road's a tough place to go as well.
And then we're off to Madrid then for your away toy.
Aye. So it's tough games coming up for us, but like I feel like once if you get like Hearts away out the way, be 3 points, you're looking quite comfy. And then like you said, St. Mirren, that's going to be a tough game. Hibs will be tough as well. But if you get 9 points for that game, right, then like you've got that advantage in the league, right? 7 points.
We need to stop thinking about what's below us.
Mm-hmm.
We need to think about what's in front of us.
Aye.
And what in front of us is the next game. Take the next game, win that, move on, go on to the next one. And said you seen the press conference say with Brendan Rodgers. He was like, "Oh, we should have beaten St. Johnstone that day." And he did come out and say during the week that he felt like the players had too much to think about when it came to the end product in that game. And obviously we dropped points.
No, definitely. There are tough games coming up for us. You know what I mean? It's tough games coming up for us, and then like the Champions League, that's also got to be tough for us too. But just hopefully we can get there. You know what I mean? Just hopefully we can get a decent result Wednesday night.
But I'm gonna say things have changed a bit around the Celtic world in the last 2 or 3 years. And you think about it, like even the last 5 years. When do you ever see Celtic going out and bringing signing a new deals with a load of players and within the space of 2 months? That's
No,
changed.
it's not something that's happened a lot, and then you want obviously your first team players to get new pension deals done.
We're tapping into different markets. I know Ange was a part of that when he was here. We're tapping into different markets where we picked up gems.
Mm-hmm.
That model has changed as well.
The Indian market, but then it's like with Rodgers, does he know it? You know what I mean?
Like we're linked with another guy from Korea, and you haven't even seen Kwon. We played Kwon for like 2 games, and he's been missing.
Marco Tilo.
So the stories about Marco Toledo is he's not up to standard yet for the intensity of the game, the British game, the Scottish game, you could say. Roger said it today that he's been training with the team. He's just a bit overwhelmed at the moment. He's getting up. He's been training. He's been training with the squad 4 weeks now, and it's going to take time for him to settle and get used to the intensity of the game. So I'm thinking after watching that interview today, I'm thinking he's probably not going to be playing until the fourth Scottish Cup game.
No, probably because it's it's only one.
It's a different climate. It's a different stature of football coming from the A-League to the Scottish, and it's a big move from. Yeah, it's a massive club. Some people
took a bit of time with Rogic as well, didn't it? As well, when me first thing.
Yeah, Rogic. I remember Rogic made his debut against Inverness, and he got about 3 or 4 games that season, and then he ended up sending him off back down to Australia for the season, and then they took him back. Yeah, took him back then.
Oh. In fact, I remember it. I do remember that.
According, he was homesick and he wasn't settling, and there was talks that he was actually going to leave Celtic, and then Big Ronnie came in, and then Ronnie gave him a go, and he played some phenomenal football under Ronnie, and then Brendan, he just got better and better.
It was that goal at Kelly under Dale, wasn't
it? That kid, he was unbelievable. He just scored some. And I remember even scoring the cup semi-final. I know we lost that day. We even that just Tierney's ball into him that day. Michael thinks I bet Kwon would even play 4 games for us. He'd probably be. I felt Kwon reminds me of B-Tom. I felt when B-Tom was brought in, he was going to be one of these players that play 1 or 2 games, and that was it.
Aye.
Then obviously,
I think it was a Forest game that he played. That Forest testimonial match he played, and he just looked all over the place.
Yeah, he's probably struggling to settle as well. Like it is a big step going from a team in Asia to move to a more physical game, faster game. Like with Celtic, it's a possession. It's a Celtic are known for high intensity football, a lot of possession, and he's going to be playing. He's going to be playing as a defensive midfielder. So he's coming in when Callum's coming off or Callum's getting pushed up. He's coming in to hold that position.
Can't really get into it as well, you know what I mean? Unless he shows it.
I know. It'd be an interesting one with Kwon, but I'm gonna fancy 3-1 on Sunday.
3-1. I'll go 3-0, Keith.
I'm gonna 3-1. I think Hearts have it in them to score against us at home. No, I don't think it'll be a penalty. I think they'll score a decent goal against us. As much as I hate saying, I think we'll go out there and smash them the second half. I'm gonna go 3-1.
3-1. I'll go 3-0 Celtic Sunday.
I'm gonna fancy Palmer scoring, even though if he doesn't start or comes off the bench or he starts.
He's got a goal in now anyway. It looks like Palmer now. You know what I mean?
Palmer might be a Scotty Sinclair.
Aye, he looks that type of player, doesn't he? He looks good. He does. I like what I've seen him so far. You know what I mean?
And the only way he gets better and better, you more football you give him.
Aye, that's it. You need to keep playing. That's what I'm saying. Like he's in form now, so that's how I'd play him in Sunday.
I know. Your argument's sake is don't change something that's not broken. Exactly. Don't change it.
Seemed alright before we went away. So
there's no point flicking the vase. Just leave it as it is. Give it a go. Trust in it.
No, definitely, mate, 100%. We'll have to hang with this. Just dug a treat too. So.
Right, so folks, I'm going to let Connor jump off and I'll stay on for a few minutes. Good speaking to you.
2 seconds. I can come back, mate. 2 seconds. None.
Two seconds, folks. Just the L camera's acting to go. Love Ronnie. He gave a youth a chance. Tierney. Bet Doak might have stayed with him in charge. Well, Doak was well. Doak was well after Ronnie, but interesting times. Tierney did get a good chance under him. The same with the likes of Callum Mack. Callum Mack got a good chance under Ronnie as well. You have to give Ronnie the praise there.
Sorry, mate. So I'm just back now. I'll keep batting there, man.
Yeah, fine. You're grand. Don't be worrying about it. I was just saying that it'd be interesting on Sunday just to see how he lines up and see who's coming. Like the squad should be all in good confidence. Some of the players obviously are coming off qualification. Lagerbielke's coming off a goal for Sweden. Palma scored as well. I think Bernaldo scored for Portugal. I'm not sure. I don't really keep eyes on 21's results, folks. You know.
I know what you mean. Hopefully we see a bit more of him, Bernardo.
What?
Hopefully we see a bit more of him. Silva.
And I hope we might see a bit of magic from Rio, like he done in Tynecastle one of the first times he went there.
That was a screaming goal, wasn't it?
Oh.
That was a
big Yakamaka scored that night as well.
Aye. No, it's a good, like obviously for the away fans, it's a good day as well. I think Ken got a Tynecastle as well, so hopefully got a good day there as well. You know what I mean?
Before eventually it gets cut down to 0.
Aye. Looks like it's going that way.
Exactly. Right, look, I better let you go off anyway. I'm going to be jumping out now in 2 minutes. And thanks very much for popping on. I'll catch up with you over in the next week or so.
No worries, mate. Right.
Take care of yourself.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
So it was good having Connor on tonight. Bit of a different voice, different opinion. I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to do a couple of solo videos as well on the channel. I just want to say a massive thanks again for people that watch the podcast, that watch the channel on a regular basis. I will be doing a podcast tomorrow night on my own. I'm talking about the game tomorrow. Just other stuff as well I'm going to bring up as well. So I do appreciate the support. If you haven't purchased the membership, it's for 99p. How you deal with it is you just go into me YouTube profile and up the very top it says join, or even below it says join. Press that and you can buy it. It means at the end of the year I'll have a list of who bought the membership and I'll be emailing you, or you can send me your email and I'll be sending you out Come On The Hoop stickers. So it's an incentive there as well. Just my way of saying thanks back to you for supporting the channel. And the ones that can't afford it or do not want to subscribe, or you've already subscribed and don't want the membership, I really appreciate your support as well. These are absolute legends. Without you, I don't want to do this. Simple as that. So I'm going to jump off, folks. I'll be back tomorrow night about 9 o'clock. I'll pop on for half an hour, have a chat, which is going into the game, and I'll speak to you all soon. Hell.